Yo, Bookstragon, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello there. Well, my name is Bookstragon. I'm the Hauptmann of the 390, the co-clan lead of the 390 IR, one of the clans making up the Armeegruppe Adler, and I was a tank-killing logic guy today.
Thank you, thank you. You seem dialed in. So, first question, I always ask it. I think I know what the answer is going to be. Are you pleased with tonight's result?
Yeah, I think you know what the answer is. I'm very pleased, honestly. We lost, but I think everyone in my team had so much fun, especially we in the 390. Don't know about the other clans making up the Armeegruppe, but we just had so much fun today. We lost, of course, but we still got through the group phase. Now the question, we're not fighting on the last round, but the question now is just if we're gonna win the group phase in the first place or the second place. So going into this match, we did not have much to lose, and I think that like karma was a bitch. So we got definitely defeated. There's no discussion about it. But it was a wonderful match fighting against the Rusty 40. So yeah, it was a wonderful match today as well as last time.
Yeah, so as you said, you are going to qualify for the semi-finals no matter what, but there is going to be a big battle for second place now, which we'll talk about with the other guys later on. Can you explain what your team's strategy was going into this round, into this match?
Yeah, well, we focused a lot on the tanks, of course, as Chapter 2 kind of emphasizes them over everything else. We also did increase our cooperation between our mortar guys and our infantrymen. So to advance on that first point, and after that it was just the usual, encircling the point, trying to get onto it, and us logisticans, I don't know, destroying the enemy tanks. One of those two things worked out well. The other one did not.
Which one didn't work out too well?
The encircling and capturing of the capture point, as you all could see in the stream, the Rusty 40 just did such an incredible job keeping up their respawns. I usually, if you encircle a point like we did, there's no real way of coming back and getting troops into it or near it. But Rusty 40 just did such a good job coming back onto the point again and again, which we really did not expect, and that lost us the round.
Yeah, so you mentioned a tactic that we've seen other teams employ in this round 4 tie so far. What do you think didn't go? Well, I'm trying to phrase this. What went wrong? Why didn't it work out as effectively as it did for other attacking teams, in your opinion?
We just weren't able to close that capture point. The enemy could always reinforce it. They could always get their guys back in it. So we really weren't able to get a good foothold on the whole thing. But yeah, it was annoying since they were just too slippery. But as Chapter 2 is just such a special thing, I think it's not really recreatable on other maps. That just we weren't able to get that respawn. I have to watch the stream again. I don't even know how Rusty 40 did it, but they just did an incredible job closing off the resupply routes and keeping us out of them. And through that, they all were always available to get back into the point.
Okay, something you did mention is your use of tanks, and it is something on Chapter 2 that we know. The French tanks are very powerful, and we saw you guys fielding 3 tanks this game. But something we haven't seen so far is how effective Rusty 40 was at dealing with your tanks. I think constantly they were being harassed by infantry. Is that something that was explained or communicated in comms, maybe, that your tanks are struggling? Adler, thank you for the follow.
Well,
Welcome.
we, the 390, fielded the tanks this time, so we talked with our tankers in the debriefing after the match, and we just were hard countered by the enemy 2 centimeters on either the Flak or the Panzer II. And of course the AT mines, but the big enemy panzers, the Panzer IVs. I personally destroyed 4 Panzer IVs this match just with mines, and through that they just the tank on tank fighting here was just on the small boys on the Panzer II, which did an incredible job. We in our testing did not realize how quickly the enemy panzers can pen the French tanks and kill their drivers. Like first or 2 shots, there was some that was really well done by the Rossi 240 tankers, and of course the we're never allowed to stop our tanks since there was just a TNT satchel or mine somewhere near the tank, so that was also keeping our guys on foot.
Exactly. Something I want to cover quickly is the use of your commander this game. Your commander was very brave several times. We saw him driving his car literally onto cap, I think 2-3 times. And at the beginning of the game, he did something that we see a lot of clans do. He drove his squad leaders to a flanking position quicker than an MSP could get there. No doubt there was maybe some harsh words spoken to your mortar team. Like, German Bastard went down and his squad twice to friendly fire mortars. Do you think if your mortars didn't get those friendly kills at the very beginning of the match, things would have gone differently?
No, I don't really think so. We still have the same problem with the enemy just coming back in as always. So I think that would just have tipped the time a bit. As I already said, the thing that cost us the match was the phenomenal job of 40-1 going back into the capture point again and again, and we really weren't that able to pinpoint where the enemy was coming from. And through that we lost. We never really got into. Well, we got into the capture point, but we never really got the enemy out of it.
Yeah, that's something it's actually something I didn't really see much on the cast either. I didn't really see where they were spawning from, aside from rallies on the Rusty 40 team, so it's something I'll ask them later on how they was so effectively able to keep getting onto cap every time those cleared out. Going back to your mortars, were you aware that throughout the entire game, Rusty 40 had a couple of guys deep in your territory constantly harassing your mortars?
No, not at all. Our logi guys aren't responsible for the mortars, and I wasn't the squad lead, so I didn't hear anything about that. We just, I think, in watching the stream so far, our mortars were definitely less than anticipated, and that also mortars are a wonderful tool to close off the enemy resupply routes, and we of course did not have that tool because of those infiltrators behind our lines. So they also did a phenomenal job, but I didn't even know they existed.
Oh, well, something you've learned now. So you know a lot about RIP at this point, but based on tonight, is there anything going into the semi-finals that you're going to maybe practice on?
I don't know if any of our future enemies are gonna watch this, but most likely we will fight against a French clan, either the 501st or the Coalition Francophone, I think they're called.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just incredibly scared of them because we had some friendly matches against both of them, and we got our private parts handed to ourselves, so that really was not. I personally am a bit scared of them, but we also got into this whole group phase being very scared of the how are they called, the coalition of the Iron Nine, and we won against them. So I think we also, to get a bit cocky once again, I think we also have a good chance against the Frenchmen.
Okay. Which of the French teams do you think you would prefer to go against?
I can't really say that because if I say one team, we're gonna definitely get the other. So no, I'm just scared of both of them.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Based on tonight's performance from your team, is there anyone you would nominate from your side who you think would be MVP?
From our side, since I did the logic part, I couldn't really see much. In general, I'm very proud of our logistic guys. We killed 5 tanks, so we did a great job getting those tickets for our side. Logi did have an easy job, of course, with the whole mine thing. You can see it on stream right now. We
Yeah.
blew up a lot of tanks, but such did the enemy, and I think we just I am gonna have to give the MVP to the enemy mine layers.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Do you know what map is being played in the semi-finals? Or if not, is there a map you would prefer to be played on for the semi-finals?
I would like to say that's like secret information or something like that, but no, we straight up don't know the map for the semifinals. Chapter 1 is, I think, quite basic, and a lot of enemy clans have very good tactics for them because they play them for like at least a year. I think keeping in the spirit of the group phase with these special maps like Best, like Ston, I would really prefer maybe a Chapter 3 map. Especially as we got those new layers in the last update. I think that would be very like a fresh wind for the whole ladder. But I'm happy with every map as long as it's not Dinan.
I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
Dinan is still in that pool, so we have to. It's always possible to happen.
No, we're not gonna have that. No. I pray we don't get that.
Don't jinx it.
While I ask if there's any viewer questions, is there anything you want to put toward anything you want to say towards the Rusty 40 guys? Chat, do you have any questions you want to ask Books Dragon?
It was wonderful fighting them. So
Put your questions
really,
in chat.
the hardest matches in the whole group phase since we lost both of them. And also wonderful sportsmanship. It was a bit hairy, the whole situation with Reaps being on the wrong side, but I can just repeat that there weren't any peekings, and still Reaps cannot get a promotion since he was on the wrong side. He was our imposter. But
there you go, Reaps.
Yeah, it was wonderful fighting them. It's some clans are a bit special in the communication part, but against the Rusty 40, it was just a pleasure fighting and talking to them. So I'm just happy that we fought against them, and I'm happy that we lost in this way because it's still the best kind of way to lose.
Thank you, Carl. A question from Just Press is, did you go into this underestimating the Rusty 40?
Did we go into this underestimating the Rusty 40 in the first match? Yes, definitely. We were a bit on a hype, but we got our private parts handed to us in the first match, which we did not expect. And in the second match, we were really prepared, and I think no one of us thought that we would win this safely. So we weren't so cocky in the second match, but we still lost. But I think no hard feelings, no salt. It was a wonderful fight. And thanks for the sub.
Yeah, thank you, Carl, for that. Well, that was the only real questions asked. So you guys get a break now, and I think the semi-finals won't be played. I'm going to guess in the new year, but I'm not too sure on that yet. So you guys get a long break and a lot of practice now. So
Yeah, we got our Winterpause, as we say in German. We're gonna definitely use it to improve our collaboration, our tactics, our general infantry, tank, and logi experience. We learned a lot through the group phase, and now we have quite a while. Hey, there's me blowing up in the second tank.
I told you I caught you a couple of times.
But yeah, we learned a lot through the group phase, and we're gonna go into the wait for the semifinals. Yeah, we're gonna improve our tactics and hopefully come out stronger.
Well, who was Commander suiciding on Cap? Oh yeah, do you know why? I think it was Sakal. I can't pronounce his name, but he drove on Cap a couple of times.
Yeah, it's Shakal, our general chief in command, commander-in-chief, I think. It's because the commander car of the French platoon lead is invisible. Not invisible, invincible.
Oh.
It's a Batmobile, and you can't shoot it with small arms fire. And if you get the commander on point, you kept faster. So we kind of tried to cheese it through that way that we could cap faster. And of course, as long as Shakal wouldn't hop out the car, he was invincible through stuff like normal car 1898s and submachine guns. So yeah.
I actually didn't know that, so I've just learned something here, and probably chat has as well. I think that was the last question though. So Books Dragon, I appreciate you joining me, man, and good luck in the semi-finals. You're gonna need it against the French. That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely. Been a big pleasure talking to you every weekend. Wonderful job hosting, and thanks for hosting this as well. It's gonna be lonely without you.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm here every day of the week. You can still come talk to me. Don't worry about it. But I appreciate it, man. I'll let you get on with your evening now. And thank you again for joining me, and good game tonight.
Have a wonderful first advent. I'm not sure if you really have that in the English-speaking world, but have a wonderful evening and see you sometime.
See you too, man. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. That was Books Dragon, peeps. Nice guy. Lovely guy. Carl, thank you for giving him the sub as well. Yeah, this is a little segment for YouTube now. Come join. Come join. Come join. I cast Postscriptum all the time. Where are you at? You have a chance to earn a sub as well for free from Carl after we hit it big on the football. Come by Twitch sometime. Well, that was Books Dragon. Big shout out to him. Thank you for joining me, man. Good luck in the semi-finals. What is man? Can you just introduce us? I can adjust your audios.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm joining 412 from Rusty in Places. I'm within Rusty in Places. I'm the game commander for Postscriptum.
And my name's JT Infantry, and in the RIP command structure, I am the platoon leader. Recently promoted to that.
Right, I think I've got you boys both dialed in. So, first question, always ask it. Tonight's results, are you pleased with it?
Looking ecstatic. Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Super happy.
I imagine so. So, let's talk about your strategy tonight. Can you, because it turned in very messy and it was hard to cover all the action in this match. Can you explain what your team strategy was going into this game?
Yeah, go on, JT. You were commanding. So.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll give you the brunt of it. We felt that they thought that we'd sit on the cap and not push out. We decided, I decided to throw squads actually forward first into the woods to the north to try and see if we can catch them off guard. Maybe catch an MSP or catch a rally or just do some disruption before they even actually get to the point. Turns out, I'm not sure how effective that was, but what we expected in the first 10 minutes of a full heavy armor coming down the road, infantry coming down to overrun us, didn't quite happen. We did have mortars up, but the mortars were taken out within 10 minutes. We also had a contingency plan for that. If the mortars got taken out, then our mortars team would change to carried on playing logistics and just hunted their mortars. They did a very good job at doing that. We had a plan to deal with their tanks and the French tanks. We practiced all week for it, or the chaps who were going to be taking it out did. So did training in-house for it. And we had a specific AT squad, which was Cake Squad, and their main aim was to destroy tanks all game. I believe they took out a couple of tanks, including a B1, which was really good to hear that we destroyed one. The idea was to actually try and hold them at the first cap and win on time. We weren't taking this lightly. We were going to do everything we could to hold that first cap. Tickets wasn't a priority to us unless we lost that first cap. And I think our MSP placements, one to the southeast and one to the northwest, allowed their harassing of our spawn areas, which we knew they would do on the second cap hilltop. We would have done the same, or the town. Those MSPs allowed our squads to carry on getting into cap, carry on reinforcing, and carry on getting in for those reinforcement channels. Our armor was to try and support infantry when they could. Obviously aware that the French armor is superior. My assets, commander's assets, was only to be called in if the cap was kind of lost. A lot of the times it seems the cap was lost and then we'd suddenly retake it pretty quickly. So I'm not sure how effective the assets were, but a lot of it was positioning of squads. We had a first contact briefing, and then obviously once those squads had died who charged up to the north, there was a second part of the plan which had everyone from the west to east road behind it, protecting the south, protecting the cap. Every squad had a position they were supposed to be on. For a lot of it, they did keep it up. And Isolt's squad again was on harassment duty no matter what, and it just worked.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seemed to go the way you described it, and your AT guys did an incredible job. I think Rusty 40 can take the trophy of getting the most Chapter 2 tank kills from this game. I've never seen so many French tanks go down, especially on the first cap, which is incredible. So who were the AT guys again? Can you just list them?
So Rocker and Dino. Those two lads are really good in practicing. But then I have to quickly say, for all the squads, every squad had a pioneer ready. I think at one stage there was 3 pioneers chasing 1 tank.
Yeah.
We wanted to neutralize them as quick and early as possible. We banked on the fact that they wouldn't also use that. If they had their tanks out on west, they wouldn't use it properly with infantry support. Paid off.
Something I do want to cover, and you're the only team that hasn't done it on defense, is you made use of the stationary flak gun. I can't remember its precise name. Where other teams use the 88 and packs. What was the reason to use the flak instead of the big 88?
It can kill the, if I'm correct, Join, it can kill the gunner in the tank.
Yeah.
Therefore neutralizing their capability of firing out of it. It also can wound the armor, ready for our AT people to come in and mop it up. It was utilized purely for the fact that our army team mentioned its benefits. Our AT guys, Rocker and Dino, also the ones who wanted to get it out on cap and onto the south point as quick as possible, so they did.
So unique use of it there then, because what we've seen so far is basically the other defending teams just build big guns to try kill the French tanks, where you guys, you were creative about it. You said, let's just focus on killing the driver and then get our AT guys to finish off the job, which, I mean, the count shows your guys' strategy was the best for it. You got the most tank kills and you successfully defended the first cap. So who was the idea behind that?
I
think it was more of a collab between 40-1 and Armour and the Rip Armour guys. They're very experienced, so
yeah, they're very good.
They know that having played quite a lot of rounds on the French maps, they knew that the 20mm was extremely effective at not destroying but stopping the French armor, so it could stop the armor, and then you just push AT guys up, switch your fire with the 20mm, push your AT guys up and destroy it with either AT grenades or satchel charges with the 3 kilo.
Yeah, fair enough. Something Bucksdragon said that was annoying for their team is you guys just kept getting back on cap. It's not something guys showed in casting because there was action all over the place. How were you guys able to keep getting on cap constantly and pushing them back? Where were you coming from?
I think well-placed rallies, to be honest. Is
Yeah.
we almost relied solely on rally points. The MSPs were, if I get it right, the essentially absolute fallback. We need to push back, and we can't get to our rallies. We'll use the MSP. We'll just keep moving the rally points. The squad leaders will keep dotting the rally points about as they move, so it's not in the same place.
It's all part of the planning. It's every squad leader was briefed. The rally is the quickest way to get back in. Every squad leader to get a rally down immediately. They lose their rally, go and find somebody, a radio man, place another one. That cap, if you get at least 2 enemy infantry squads on that cap, and I've used an artillery barrage, then it's too late then. They will count that no matter what. So it was always to make sure we had more numbers on that cap than they did, and I think we did that really well.
Yeah, you guys did. Something we've seen the attacking teams do on this map is they constantly try to send 1 or 2 squads behind and try to encircle the first cap while also getting into a strong position on the second cap. And we saw, I think it was Jonah, your squad was fighting a lot for the second cap. Is that something you accounted for?
Yeah, I was more because I only had a short squad, a very small squad. I was able to maneuver more quickly without turning around 6-7 guys. It's a case of there's a hole needs plugging, and we'd run back to plug it. Now, when our mortars got neutralized fairly early on, we just ran back and stayed there, and found that the Armeegruppe Adler just kept mortaring us and firing mortars at us and the second cap and throwing infantry at it, and again moving the rally point, dotting it about and moving. Maybe gave the impression there was more of us, I don't know, maybe not, but it enabled us to keep them busy at the back. It wasn't so much a harassing move to harass their attack, it was more of a just keep them busy so that they're not mortaring the point and not attacking the point. And that allowed in turn the logistics mortar team to go and find the mortars. So that it worked very well. It was planned in that my squad would fall back as required, push in as required, and with the dogs' bodies, so to speak. But we ended up on the second cap the whole match.
Yeah,
it was good fun.
That's something Bucksdragon said. He said because of that position on the second cap, they wasn't able to quite enclose around you guys. So you holding them back there meant they couldn't do a full encirclement around the first cap. So even though you had a couple of bodies, it proved effective and stalling the attack. Sorry, JT, go on.
It's just a strange one because how we capped that point wasn't by actually cutting off the hilltop. How we capped it was overrunning the main road and actually getting over to cross. So I think their idea of how to have gone about it is probably not the best way. Fighting on a perma spawn on the hilltop, it's always going to be a losing battle because they can always spawn more than you. You want to have more numbers on the cap, no matter what. So I'm surprised. I mean, disruption tactics work. We've seen that on the first match, but I think they threw too much to our rear rather than coming down the main road. If they came down the main road with their tanks and their infantry squads, our lines were quite thin. It was more we were reacting to where they were coming from rather than stacking the point. It's just a strange tactic that they went for there.
Yeah, okay, and it did turn into a very messy fight, at least from my perspective. After the first 10 minutes or so, at the beginning, they did do kind of a solid push from their main base, but the guys you sent out early on kind of
worked.
Yeah, it kind of threw them off a little bit, and then they kind of like broke apart and tried to push him from different angles. Something that did happen earlier on is their commander dropped 2 squad leaders just west of the point, and they actually got taken out twice by their own mortar team, blowing up their squads of those pushing in. Is that something you was aware of, that there was actually quite close to the cap within the first 8 minutes?
Like I said, we actually prepped for the big push that we expected. Well, we expected that they'd send something west, and a command car was reported going west. It was assumed there would obviously be squad leaders in there. So the call did go out. How much they were sending, obviously, onto that west side, nobody really knew. But we had a plan for that, and I held out. Wouldn't you say, Joyner?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like I say, being at the back there, I didn't actually. I only glanced at the map occasionally, so it was difficult to ascertain what was going on at the front. I was relying on the command radio messages and shouts for help to let me know if anything was falling to bits. But, it worked out good. We weren't aware of the mortars taking out their own team. Obviously, we can't see the team kills as you would be able to do on your own server, which is handy, to be honest. But we felt, my 3 guys, felt we were getting mortared a lot.
Yeah, their mortars did shift towards the second cap in the later stages of the game. Speaking of their mortars, who was it responsible for being out there and annoying the crap out of them?
Oh, is his name IMT?
IMT, yeah, I think.
Yeah, IMT was the
He was
leader.
our mortar guy.
Yeah, he's our mortar guy, so he can sniff out mortars if he's not doing the mortaring, and he did exceptionally well. He hunted them down and just kept killing them. Time they got him up.
Yeah, he was very annoying to them. Okay, so this is the second game against Armeegruppe Adler. Was there anything particular about that team that you did extra practice to counter? Something about that team that was maybe a little bit special in their arsenal?
It's a strange one. I recognise that the focus would be the infantry combat. Everyone panicked about the French armour because they saw how well we used it first time. The French armour wouldn't have been any good if we didn't use it with the infantry support. Something we noticed watching the first match is Adler didn't use any of their German armour properly with infantry support. We banked on that again, that they wouldn't support their armour with infantry, so that's a flaw that they can work on for the semis. Yeah, we were prepared.
Fair. And
Would you say, Jonah?
anything to add, Jonah?
Nope, he's silent as a dot.
Fair enough. Similar question then. After the first match you guys had, is there anything you practiced going into the second match?
Very much so. Our AT guys have been practicing all week, not just on the French maps. They've been predominantly practicing using Pioneer kits and no AT to destroy armor where possible on every map. So practicing moving up on tanks, things, and it sounds ridiculous, but they've been practicing every night for 5 days. Chasing down tanks, in vehicles, out of vehicles, throwing bombs, throwing satchel charges for the Americans, trying everything to destroy different kinds of tanks so they can get used to moving up on armor. And it showed I thought it showed in the stream. I mean, you saw one guy just stroll up to the side of a tank, plunk down a 3 kilo and stroll away.
Yeah.
And with utmost confidence that he could do it without fluffing it or messing up. They've been practicing a lot and training a lot. They've been on training servers practicing where to put the mines, where to put the armor, the charges to different effects and things like that. So it's taken a lot of time for the guys for this match, especially in training time, to get them ready or for them to be confident that they can fulfill the role that they picked. And it was very effective, and it was hugely effective. We found, just from a movement point of view, the guys were fantastic.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job. Moving away from this match then and looking into the future, Group 2 is being turned upside down now with the performance of these round 4 matches. You're going to be fighting for second place and going into Velmolen 03, I think, against the Red Devils. Anything about that team that concerns you?
I've watched a few of their matches and been studying their tactics in a slight sense, but we're not going to give anything away. Planning will start tonight for that match. Obviously, we're aware how good they are. They're an Italian kind of side, I believe. So we'll just be very. We don't underestimate our opponents, so we'll watch, see what we can do to exploit, and we'll go for it there.
Fair.
That's about it, I think. Join it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, basically it'll be like you said. Planning will start this evening.
Plan.
There'll be several planning conferences throughout the week in the evenings,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we'll go into it on Saturday for another one, and then again on Sunday before the match to finalise. And hopefully the plan will come off like clockwork again.
Do you have anything to say to the Red Devils going into this upcoming match?
Second place isn't secured yet, mate.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah,
true.
we're looking forward to playing them. Well, we haven't played them this tournament, so we're looking forward to playing a different team that I don't think we've played before. We've played KGL in its various forms before. We've played Adler before in various forms, so we know these guys. The Red Devils, well, not an unknown quantity. We've got plenty of footage to watch, thanks to yourselves, and yeah, we can look forward to a good match for sure.
Okay.
I just want to say very quickly that we are only bottom purely because we've usually lost on the second match, on the second leg of the matches. We've reorganized everything and the planning structure and everything. We've got new people in different positions. So don't underestimate us. That's what I'm going to say.
No, I don't think teams will be now. I mean, I said this. You've now matched the best leading team on the round 4 performance, Cole FR. You're the only team that I believe has defended, aside from them, the first cap on this round. And you also took the second most caps next to Cole FR. So it's completely turned Group 2 around. And I'm sure a lot of teams are going to be, more worried now going into this. Moving on to a question before I go into the viewer questions then. Who are you going to nominate for MVP? Chat.
Well,
Get
I
your
didn't
viewer
stay around for
questions
this minute,
ready.
so you go ahead.
I'm not certain. I think it's a bit of a toss-up. IMT pushing up and taking out their mortars was a great help. Their mortars could have been a huge threat on the cap if they'd shifted fire. So there's a bit of that. Our AT guys and our Logi guys, as always. Logi guys did an absolutely fantastic job. Our AT guys, I would make them MVP just because of the amount of practice they've put in and the amount of dedication they've shown to learning essentially a new skill, because anybody can stand there with a Panzerfaust, a bazooka or Piat and knock out tanks all day. Running up to them's a different matter. So yeah, I'd probably give it to the couple of AT guys we had.
The Cake Squad, their performance was very good.
Okay, fair enough. I've got my first question from Bucks Dragon is: what maps do you hope to see in the semi-finals?
On the semis, I can't even remember what maps were available.
No more Chapter 2 maps.
No more Chapter 2, and definitely
Agreed.
no Chapter 3. Rather sickeningly, I'd like to see Arnhem, but I love that map. Everybody hates it. I'd love to see Arnhem this competition map. I think it would be hated, but it would be the most fun anybody had for an hour in game.
Yeah, I probably agree. As much as I hate that map, it would be good to see that come up in the tournament setting and just see what strategies the teams come up with to try and deal with that. It's been an interesting tournament so far.
Which Arnhem are you talking? The ones where both sides are on
Where the
opposite sides of the
Germans
bridge, or
Yeah.
opposite sides? Okay.
It's a hard map, and because it's played from both sides, it'd be similar to the best one, so it probably won't come up. But it would be interesting to see what tactics were employed to get across, and if what a team manages to get across, the city fight would be amazing. It'd be absolutely amazing. And it would be mainly infantry, because once you're in the town, tanks are almost useless. So.
Oh, Bug says that version of the map isn't in the map pool, I don't think. That's what Bug says.
I know.
That's it, we're leaving
so
the
sad.
tournament then. That's it.
We want Arnhem. We want our day.
I don't. I hate that map.
Any chapter 1 map, to be honest. I'm
All
first.
tankers hate that map, you see.
It's not for the tank reason. It's because of just there's only 2 there's only 2 crossings on that version of the map. If there was a third one, I'd be like, okay, that's not too bad. But there isn't the south pontoon or the north pontoon. They remove it on that layer for some reason. I don't know why. Sergeant says, "Do you guys have a victory cry?"
There's normal. I did actually write. I always write it down what everybody's reaction at the end of the match is, and in-game chat just exploded. Everybody's shouting. Our TeamSpeak channel that we're all in for RIP. That exploded as well. Everybody's shouting and cheering. So that's pretty much it. It's just everybody goes a bit bonkers.
Just screaming victory.
JT unplugged his computer by accident. He
I
was
tripped
so
over the
excited.
cable celebrating.
Did you really
that's not my
turn it
brother.
off?
Yeah, I did generally tripped over the
Unplugged
cable
his-
just to tell my mum that we'd won the match.
Oh well.
His mum doesn't care.
Oh dear.
At least you was excited.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, I ain't got any more viewer questions at this point. So, is there anything you want to say to the other team?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
It was
They
good.
fought really hard. Just not hard enough this time.
No, on a genuine note, thank you. We prepped for you. We knew how good you are. We didn't underestimate you, and thank you for giving us really 2 good, interesting matches. For myself, it was a nightmare planning to fight against you guys, because you were one of the best teams in the tournament. So, and considering where we were in the league and how we'd always lost on the second leg, it's very important to try and at least get that first win. And I will be the first one to say we planned for a loss on the first one, but to have capped for at least 1 or 2 caps. So the fact we got to a third and then was pushing on a fourth surprised us as well as it surprised you. But that's part of the planning and part of the new dynamics in the planning phase of we are flexible. There, after the planning of the first stage, we have ideas of what we want to do, and it's down to squad leaders and basically the command structure to go in there and do the job.
Yeah, and obviously it's a team collaboration. We're 50-50 with 40-1. So they play their huge part in all the planning. It's not just us. It's
both
both
matches, they were absolutely
every match.
integral.
It's been fantastic. The collaboration thus far has been absolutely sweet. No problems at all. Brilliant bunch of guys.
Shout out to Dylan, absolutely amazing tanker.
Yeah.
I think that's it. There's one final question, and it's LOL's single?
We have no idea. We don't even know if he's a human.
I mean, that's a
We're
good
not
point.
sure
We
what
don't
he
know.
is, but we do know that his best pal, Vortex, since inheriting that name, we have gone on a winning streak. So, all hail
That's
Vortex.
different, yeah. All hail Vortex.
Fair enough. That's it then, guys. I appreciate you joining me, and honestly, best of luck in your round 5 matches.
Thank you.
Yeah, if we get there. Thank you very much. Cheers,
If we
Yazid.
get there.
Cheers,
Thank you.
everybody.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye-bye.
Mwah. Peeps, that was Jonah and TJ. Big shout out for them for joining me. And a huge congratulations to Rust40. They did a great job tonight. Oops, I pressed the wrong button now. 5-minute poll. Boom. There we go. The poll is up. The poll is up. Go vote. Again, I'm gonna plug to YouTube. Again, this is my plug to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, why aren't you here watching this live? Why aren't you in chat with all the like little names appearing up my head, asking questions live? Why aren't you here live to vote on MVP? Head on over to Twitch. Do it. These matches are covered live. You can get involved. You can watch. You can clip replays, and we can show the replays on screen. Get here. Oh, this is turning into a good vote so far. All right, who am I going to vote for the MVP? Honestly, because I think they achieved something no team has achieved in the Chapter 2 maps, in how destructive they were to the enemy team, I'm going to vote for Roker and Dino join MVP because they did an incredible job on being AT. All the other teams, what they did was they built big guns. They built the 88, they built the packs, and they just tried to blast the French teams away with cannons. Whereas Rusty to 40, the combination of using the 2-2s to kill the driver, immobilize them, and Rocker and Dino then flanking to put the bombs down and the AT grenades. It was a creative use of tactics that required communication and coordination from the teams. And it proved to be the most effective method for the Chapter 2 French tanks. So I'm going to give it to Rocco and Dino. It was clever, it was creative, and it proved to be efficient. So that is my MVP. There's about 3 minutes left, so get your votes in. Get your votes in.
Everybody goes a bit bonkers.
Just screaming victory.
JT unplugged his computer by accident. He
I
was
tripped
so
over the
excited.
cable
Wait,
celebrating.
did you really
that's not
turn
my
it
brother.
off?
Yeah, I generally tripped over the cable just to tell my mum that we'd won the match.
Oh, well.
Oh dear.
Hey,
me
he was
too,
excited.
That's hilarious.
Look,
It's-
I ain't gonna hate on him for that. I remember when I was like 12 years old and I got into the leaderboard on RuneScape for log cutting. I got into the top 100 for log cutting in RuneScape when I was like 12. And I rushed to tell my mum the same, like, Mum, I'm in the top 100 in RuneScape. Who gives a fuck? Was basically her response. Watches his own stream. I got it, man. I got to. Looks like there's 2 minutes left. Get your votes in. Again, this match and also the interview will be up on YouTube afterwards. Go subscribe to YouTube. Link in chat now. That was you. What was you? That's my own YouTube channel. Mum. Is this Mum get the camera? Okay. Okay. My ears? Yeah, I ain't listening to that. I know it though. I remember the Modern Warfare 2 days. That's what introduced me to Twitch. Or Justin TV back then. But again, thank you to everyone who's been here today and showing the support. I really do appreciate it. Max, thank you for the follow as well. I don't know if I said thank you. Love you. Thank you for the follow. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the follow button. It'll let you know when I'm going live. I post a lot of post-scriptum content. I cast, I play, I do events. I do it all. I'm a partner now for post-scriptum. I might occasionally leak something I shouldn't leak. Also, tell Snazzy that I need a hoodie. That was me when I didn't finish last in Fortnite. F. Big up, so thank you for hosting and good night, mates. Yo, thank you for letting me host. Thank you for letting me host. There's like 30 seconds left. From Rusty 40 Logi, Dino Defo deserves for the big... I can't read. Dino Defo deserves the win for MVP, in my opinion. I signed up to Twitch just to say that the cake is not alive. Cake, you got nominated. He's pulling away with 1 vote. And that's it. That's it. Is that it? There we go. Vote is over. I can't show it on screen. It'll be on the YouTube video. But with 57%, Roko and Dino, congratulations. You're being voted MVP, joint MVP for this game for the effective AT work you guys did. Incredible job. Second place, it's Lols. He was MVP last week with 29%. Cake and the Logi team joint third place with 7%. And Tim, the Mortar Hunter, 0%. Tim, I love you, man. Tim, who took out the Armeegruppe Adler mortars and was harassing behind enemy lines. He was in last place. But congrats, Roko and Dino. Definitely deserved. You did a great job. I think there was some other people like Physics who also did Pioneer stuff who did a good job on AT as well. Everyone on RIP, incredible job on the defense. You did a great job. And also Armeegruppe Adler, you did good. You did good. Hold your heads high. You're still winners of Group 2, Armeegruppe Adler. So you can hold your heads high. You're going into the semis. So GG to you. Apart from the Armeegruppe Adler mortar who killed German Bastard 3 times. No GG to that guy.